Last week, the Senate Judiciary Committee and the entire country heard from one of the most impressive nominees for any public office in a long time. Judge Amy Coney Barrett demonstrated that she has the deep legal expertise, dispassionate judicial temperament, and sheer intellectual horsepower that the American people deserve to have on the Supreme Court. Her nomination prompted an outpouring of praise from across academia, the legal profession, and importantly, the political spectrum. Last week, our committee colleagues saw why fellow legal scholars called Judge Barrett, quote, a brilliant and conscientious lawyer who will analyze and decide cases in good faith. And they say she is, quote, tailor-made for this job. They heard firsthand why her former law clerks and students call her, quote, a woman of unassailable integrity, and, quote, a role model for generations to come. They heard thoughtful answers that explained why the American Bar Association, an institution the Democratic leader has called the gold standard, deems Judge Barrett well qualified to sit on the Supreme Court. And they heard why the legal professionals behind the rating call her, quote, a staggering academic mind, a staggering academic mind. The chair of ABA's Standing Committee on the Federal Judiciary told the committee directly that, quote, in interviews with individuals in the legal profession and community who know Judge Barrett, whether for a few years or decades, not one person, not one, uttered a negative word about her character. Of course, Madam President, there's another way you can tell that Judge Barrett is so impressive and so qualified. It's the fact that the people who pre-committed to oppose her nomination have completely retreated from arguing the merits. Virtually none of the politicians, pundits, or special interests who opposed Judge Barrett from the beginning have even tried to lay a finger on her qualifications or credentials. We've seen inaccurate claims that it would be abnormal for the Senate to fill this seat. We've seen bizarre, barely disguised insinuations about the nominee's religious faith, and now this morning's improper press scrutiny of her children. We've heard Democrats try to take hostage our very institutions of government to stop this precedent-backed process from moving forward. But none of the distortions can even begin to cloud the incredible qualifications of the nominee. I look forward to the Judiciary Committee's vote on Thursday. The full Senate will turn to Judge Barrett's nomination as soon as it comes out of committee. I'll be proud to vote to confirm this exceptional jurist. This week, the Senate will vote on more coronavirus relief that Congress could deliver to American families right now. Month after month, Speaker Pelosi has held up urgent assistance for workers, families, schools, and our healthcare system. Month after month, she has refused to set aside non-COVID-related demands and far-left policy riders that she knows are sabotaging any shot at a deal. Why? Well, because, and these are her own words, she thinks agreeing to a bipartisan compromise might make the Democrats seem like, quote, a cheap date. Her words. The Speaker said over and over again that she does not believe it's better for workers to get something rather than nothing. And thus far, Senate Democrats have gone along with it. We could have passed hundreds of billions of dollars in relief more than a month ago, but our Democratic colleagues voted in lockstep to filibuster the relief and kill the bill. Unless Democrats got every single non-COVID-related wish list item they were after, American families would get nothing. Every single Senate Democrat voted to filibuster hundreds of billions of dollars in non-controversial assistance, except our colleague who's running for vice president, so she wasn't here at all. This has been the position for months, all or nothing obstruction. It's got to stop. The Speaker's Marie Antoinette Act needs to end. $0 for working families, but a whole lot of television time for the Speaker of the House is not a good trade for the American people. Speaker Pelosi's supposed leverage is not putting food on the table in households where one or both parents have lost their jobs. Speaker Pelosi's so-called leverage is not helping schools reopen safely or struggling small business to avoid layoffs. The Democrats' talking points are not doing a single thing to fund more testing, more tracing, or double down on Project Warp Speed so we can produce and distribute a vaccine. So tomorrow and Wednesday, Madam President, the Senate is going to vote. We will see whether our Democratic colleagues in this chamber agree that families deserve nothing rather than something, or whether they are ready to let the Senate make law across the huge areas where we do not even disagree. Tomorrow, we'll have a standalone vote on creating a whole second round of the historic Paycheck Protection Program for the hardest hit small businesses. The PPP has saved tens of millions of American jobs and kept main streets across America from turning into permanent COVID-19 ghost towns. The program is as bipartisan as it gets. Not only did it pass unanimously in the first place, we also added funding and made tweaks several times without a single objection in either chamber. So tomorrow, Tuesday, every senator will cast an up or down vote on establishing a whole second draw of these emergency loans for the small businesses that need it the most. No more all or nothing, no more endless posturing, just one clear vote on one clear good thing that nobody even says they oppose. It would make a huge difference for workers who may otherwise be laid off. And then, Madam President, on Wednesday, the Senate will vote again on a larger bill. It would pour hundreds of billions of dollars into the PPP expansion, plus more federal unemployment insurance, more money for safe schools, more money for testing, more money for vaccines, and many other important priorities. Nobody thinks this proposal would resolve every problem forever. What it does contain is $500 billion of good that Congress can do right now, through programs that Democrats do not even say they oppose. American families deserve for us to agree where we can, make law, and push huge amounts of money out the door while Washington continues arguing over the rest. It's common sense. It's what the country needs. I hope our Democrat colleagues will finally let it happen.